everyone. So today we're going to be talking about homemade dog food. And I'm really excited to share my story with you because I had a wonderful dog. His name was Teddy, and he had a lot of stomach issues. So every time I went to the vet kept saying, you've got to give your dog just rice and chicken. And I was like, well, that's great, but it's kind of a bit boring. So I went and did a little bit of research online, and I came up with my version. So I like broccoli and cauliflower and carrots, kale, that's my thing. You know, on my website, there's gonna be the recipe, and I'm gonna do the recipe for probably a 1 month supply of food, and then you can just double it or triple it, however you want, based on how many vegetables and meats and stuff you want to use and to create little meals for your dogs. Anyway, so I hope you're gonna have lots of fun learning how to make dog food. I love it, my dog loves it, he's healthier now, and I don't know, it just makes me feel really good knowing that I know what's in his food. That's it. I'm gonna share with you a life-saving tip in the kitchen. And it's one of my favorite things. It's going to save you scrubbing in that sink for hours, trying to get all the crud off your pans. And it is to line every pan with tin foil. And once you've lined it with tin foil, because we don't want that whole aluminum thing, we're gonna line it. We just put this little thing. I'm just gonna show you how to do it right now, okay? So here we go. Just put it in like this. Then we fold over our edges. Very simple. Like that. So we kind of make a pan within a pan with the tin foil. This way, whatever you put in here, nothing gets on the pan. It's just totally a clean pan. So when you finish cooking, I'm going to show you that in a bit. Then we put a little bit of parchment paper to line the pan. And we're going to be doing roasting a little bit of ground lamb for my dog food recipe, but you can use this for doing your turkey at Thanksgiving, at Christmas, doing a roast potatoes, any kind of roast vegetables. They come out amazing. And when you've finished and everything's cooked, and you put it in your beautiful bowl to serve, you just wrap this whole thing up with all the grease or whatever's in there, and you throw it in your garbage can, and that is it. And it is phenomenal. Phenomenal, phenomenal. It will save you so much time. And the pans last forever because they don't get all cruddy. So, tip of the day. So what I do is I basically get carrots and I chop them up in the food processor. And then I put them in the pan of boiling water. And while that's starting to boil, then I do sweet potato, because that's one of the things I like. And then I do cauliflower, I do kale and broccoli. And I just do it, and I put them all in the pan, I bring it to the boil, and I let it simmer for a few minutes. Once that's done, turn it off. In the meantime, I have my rice. I like white rice because white rice to me is it's just really simple. It's not expensive either. You can use quinoa. That's another choice sometimes when I'm making Monty's food. Anyway, and then I add, for me personally, I add vegetable stock. So when I'm cooking the rice, I cook it with vegetable stock. So the rice has a little flavor, so it kind of makes it a little yummy for the dog. And then you can do ground turkey, you can do ground beef, ground lamb. I get whole chickens and I cut those up. And then we're gonna take this ground lamb and we're gonna put it in the blender, and we're going to grind it all together so it's, you know, it's just like shaved lamb. And then we're gonna mix that with our vegetables and rice. And once we've done that, this will be nice and cool. We will wrap all of this up and throw it in the bin. And there's no mess, it's like nothing. Anyway, and so basically that's it. And then we mix them all together. And then I put them in little baggies. Now I use Ziploc bags, and I probably put enough food in each bag for about 3 to 5 days worth of food. And I'm gonna show you that later on. And then I put them in the freezer. And then you can have food for a month, 2 months, 3 months. It really depends on how big a batch. So we just take a spoonful and we put it in. I'm gonna show you roughly the amount for each baggie. About that much is what I put in the bag. And I would say that would be good for 3 days for a little dog. And then we get the air out, tighten it, and then you can store them neatly in the freezer like this. So I normally put 1 pack of this in my fridge that's actually active being used, and then I have another one that's thawing out, and so that's how I keep cycling it. And the rest stay in your freezer. And that means you have dog food. You can actually make a lot of this stuff, and you can store it in there for a couple of months if you want. So, you know, you don't have to be doing this all the time. Well, that wraps it up. We've had a fabulous day learning all about how to make wonderful dog food, healthy, gorgeous, fabulous food for our little friends that my little man loves. And here it is in little packs. And this stuff I'm going to freeze. And then every day, or not every day, probably every other day, I take another pack out and I feed him his 2 little meals a day, and he loves that. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this journey of from start to finish how to make dog food. It is a fabulous gift you can give your dog. They really do love it. And it's also actually pretty cost effective. I think some people may be thinking that this might be really expensive. I'm gonna do a whole calculation on this, but I really don't think it is that expensive. So let's look at that in my blog. Anyway, thanks for listening and thanks for watching and being part of Be a Smart Woman, and bye for now.